another important issue that came to the table yesterday was what's happening with the GST, goods and services tax, goods and sales tax. And let's touch base with Satya Poddar, who's a tax partner at Ernst & Young, to get a quick perspective on whether or not a consensus can be reached on the implementation of the GST as per the deadline. Thanks very much, Mr. Poddar, for taking out the time and speaking with us. Are you disappointed that no consensus was reached yesterday between the centre and states for GST? Do you think chances are now low of the April 1st, 2014 rollout being met? And it's happened a couple of times now in the past.
Well, yes, indeed. I was hoping that there'll be some degree of consensus which will be publicly announced. That has eluded us. Things are back to the drawing board. Discussions are continuing. And I think, yes, I don't expect GST to be rolled out by April 2014. It'll really be more likely 15 and 16 in the time frame.
Think it will be rolled out by 2015-16?
Well, actually, if you look at the mandate of the Finance Commission, the 14th Finance Commission, the government has asked the 14th Finance Commission to report back on the GST design and developments. And the Finance Commission recommendations are really to come into effect in 2016. So even government is not really anticipating the GST to be rolled out before 2016. If they were, they would not have given the mandate to the Finance Commission to report so late.
Budget if the Finance Minister...
So I think,
Right, please go ahead.
The best that what could have expected in the meeting yesterday was to have an agreement on constitutional amendment bill, because until the constitutional amendment bill is put through the both houses of the center as well as the 50% of the state assemblies, nothing can be done. So the question of a date for the rollout is academic until constitution is amended. Now, at the yesterday's meeting, there was an expectation based on Bhubaneswar meeting that there will be consensus that will be signed. My sense is that even if the states have a critical mass of support for the constitutional bill, in the Rajya Sabha in particular, the centre does not have the 2/3 majority which they need for the constitutional bill to be approved. So some of the BJP states, if they really hold out and collectively the party level, they decide not to support the constitutional amendment bill, then it's a waste of time, or basically one can't be definite. And this is exactly the tone that Chidambaram took in the meeting yesterday. He wanted a firm commitment of all the states for the GST to be rolled out. And even in Bhubaneswar, there was a consensus on broad parameters of GST, but an important element of that consensus was that those states which don't want to come along on the GST front, they can opt out, and the GST could be rolled out in a phased manner, the way the VAT was introduced in 2005. But Chidambaram yesterday took the view that all the states have to agree for rollout of the GST, and obviously states like Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu were not prepared to sign on the dotted line.
A follow-up question, whereas VAT was... Right, so that's my follow-up question, Mr. Poddar, that VAT or VAT was rolled in a staggered manner. Do you think it is possible and logical to roll out GST in a... Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, my follow-up question pretty much, emanates from your answer that VAT was rolled out in a staggered manner. Do you think it is logical to roll out GST also in a staggered manner, or that will make things very messy? Because VAT and GST, in terms of implications, in terms of applications, and in terms of tax, they both are different.
Well, in terms of the rollout, yes, you need little more support for the GST to be done in a cohesive manner across all of the states, but theoretically as well as practically, it can be rolled out in a staggered manner the way the VAT was rolled out. The key issue will be taxation of services, because services are more mobile interstate than the goods are. And in fact, most of the services are of an interstate nature. And if some states are participating, some are not participating, then it becomes a little tricky to design the taxation of services with some states participating and other states not participating. But theoretically as well as practically, it is possible to roll it out in a staggered manner. That is indeed the way the Canadian GST is working right now. Even after 20 years of its implementation, not all the provinces in Canada are participating in the GST. And that was the one message that Sushil Modi brought back after the visit to Canada, that yes, it is possible to roll out GST in a staggered manner.
Mr. Poddar, given the
and in my view...
Yes, please make your point.
Yeah, in my view, I think they should really allow the states the flexibility. The country and the GST and the Indian economy should not be held hostage to the demand of few states who, for whatever reason, don't want to support the GST. If they don't like GST, let them stay outside, but don't block the implementation of GST in the 80% of the economy, which is ready to embrace GST.
Right, and given that we haven't been able to really reach consensus, there've been multiple postponements in the deadline. Do you think a reworked GST is now a much watered down version of the original GST that was laid out, and the benefits of the original bill will pretty much not exist, or they won't be there in the watered down version?
Well, how much it will be watered down is yet to be decided. At the moment, they're really talking about the broad macro framework. Now, when you call it watered down, it really means that there will be lots of exemptions. Many things will not be taxable that should have been taxable. Rates will be high, which in turn will create pressures for more exemptions. All of those questions have not been settled. In fact, they have constituted 3 more committees to decide those issues. And these committees have to deal with issues like what the tax rates will be, how many rates there will be, whether there will be a floor rate or a uniform rate across all of the states, what will be the exemptions, what will be the treatment of interstate sales. So the expectation is that out of those committee discussions, the design that will emerge will be not as watered down as what has been presented to the government or to the governments or to the country over the past few months. So expectation is that these committees will come up with a design which is not as watered down as the current version is on the table.
Mr. Poddar, really appreciate your time and thank you for your robust and wonderful insights.
Thank you.